Welcome to NCIX Tech Tips. Today's episode is all about the Vesta i7 5800 SLI. Now this system is not cheap. It comes in at around $2,000, but I think what you guys will discover is that you're getting a lot of performance for your money. Now the theme of this system is a general sort of like Battlefield 3 theme to go along with the upcoming release of Battlefield 3 Premium. So we've gone with the Corsair C70 for the gaming armor to go around it. In fact, this is a largely Corsair and Asus themed build, and the reason we've gone with the C70 is, well, mostly for the outstanding look. So the C70 is available in a military green that just looks outstanding and comes with some pretty cool little perks. So number one is it's a great LAN case because you got these awesome handles up here which are really strongly reinforced. I'm even going to take this whole case, lift it up, go like this with it. Very strong. You don't have to worry, even with a fully loaded system in here with liquid cooling, about anything breaking or going potentially wrong with it. The way the side panels close is also really neat. It's got these like ammo box style latches that you can snap shut with a very satisfying click, so that's pretty cool as well. But don't worry, there are practical reasons too. Like most Corsair cases, the C70 has outstanding cable management as well as a great overall aesthetic and features. On the front, you got your power button, your hard drive LED, your front audio, two USB 3.0 ports, as well as, check this out, under a little flap that you have to hold up, there's a yellow and black coded reset switch. So you can't accidentally press it, but it's there just in case you need it. We've got an Asus optical drive and two 120mm fan white LED lit, 120mm fan, two 120mm white LED fans in the front. So this goes along with the general theme of this system, which is military green and white lighting. So if I turn it around to this side, you're going to see something that this can be a little bit polarizing. Some people like it, other people don't. But there's two 120 or 140mm fan mounts on the side. You can install additional fans, although we found with this system configuration, we're getting lots of cooling even without additional fans installed here. You've got a side panel window, which most people are into these days, especially if it's like a LAN rig that you want to show off to all your friends. And actually, before I show you the back I/O, I do want to show you the top. So there's two 120 or two 140mm fan mounts here again. We've gone with dual 120s, and we've got a Corsair H100 liquid cooler under there that's providing the cooling for the CPU. The way the fan filters are done in the system is actually pretty smart. So there's one from the back, and you can see it's half length because there's another one that covers the fully filtered intake on the bottom of the case at the front. This means that it's easier to pull out the fan filters because you don't have to have one long piece of plastic like this, so you have to have that much clearance to pull it out, which is really cool. In terms of I/O, it's all provided by our Asus motherboard here. We're using a Sabertooth board, so 4 USB 2.0 ports, 4 USB 3.0 ports, a reset BIOS button, 2 eSATA ports, DisplayPort and HDMI out, Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet, optical audio out, 7.1 audio out, and from the GTX 680 graphics card, we've got up to 3+1 displays. So that is 3 in surround with 1 auxiliary display provided by 2 DVIs, an HDMI, and DisplayPort out. Now we're all done with the hard exterior. Let's get to the creamy candy filling, which is, of course, computer hardware. Don't eat it, please. Although you might be tempted because, like I said, guys, before, this is an extremely expensive gaming machine. It's a couple G's, which means that it's pretty G inside. We're going to start with the 3770K. So this is Intel's top-of-the-range Ivy Bridge processor. As far as gaming CPUs go, this is the king of the hill. It's fully overclocking ready. So with the Sabertooth Z77 motherboard and the H100 liquid cooler, that's a dual fan liquid cooler, you could get some serious overclocks. I would expect anything less than 4.4 gigahertz to be completely unacceptable with a configuration like this. 4.4 to 4.6 should be doable pretty easily. We've also gone with Corsair Dominator memory. This is their new Dominator Platinum RAM, which has this really cool metal bar on the top, and B, this white LED lighting, which will be swappable in the future, which is extremely cool. For graphics, we're using an Asus DirectCU2 GeForce GTX 680. This is a triple slot cooler, but due to the intelligent layout of the Asus Sabertooth board, you've actually got up to enough space using your second PCI Express 16X card to install 2 of these monsters without them interfering with each other, which isn't to say that you'd be able to install anything else on the board at that point, but them's the breaks if you want the absolute ultimate graphics performance. For the power supply, we're using an HX700, which is a modular power supply, which is part of what enables this extremely neat cabling around the outside edges of the board, which complements the clean look of the saber-tooth board with its thermal armor that covers the entire thing very, very well. It makes for a very, very tidy-looking interior. Now for storage, we've gone with a Corsair Neutron GTX SSD. This is their all-new SSD using an LAMD controller and high-end toggle NAND. Actually, is it a GTX in here? Yes, it is. Oh, good. Because I have a GTX box, so I assumed it was, but I'm just making sure. And for storage, we're using a 2 terabyte Seagate 7200 RPM storage drive. So this is all the baller stuff, guys. For lighting, we're using BitPhoenix Alchemy LED strips, and that is what gives you that very, very even white lighting over the green and black themed interior. So in conclusion, if you got a lot of money to spend, you want to have the best possible Battlefield 3 experience. We're talking 1080p, ultra settings, or even higher resolution running at ultra settings, keeping an acceptable frame rate. This system is going to pretty much do it for you. Now, I'd like to take a little bit of time, aside completely from the system, we're not going to talk about the system for a second, to welcome our all-new filming assistant. Diesel is operating the camera today. That is he's wincing, and that's fine because it's a pretty brutal nickname, but that's what I go for around here. And he is going to be doing not only our filming, but also our editing for at least a little while here. He's an intern, and he's probably going to be teaching us more than we're going to be teaching him about improving our production values and our filming processes. So stay tuned for us to be sort of making things better over the next little while, at least we hope. And in conclusion, yes, awesome system, and I'd love to give you guys my usual recommendations if you were going to upgrade anything or change anything about this system to configure it for yourself. So number 1, if you don't like the green finish on the C70, it is available in a variety of colors. You can just get a plain black one if you prefer that. Number 2 is graphics performance. If you don't feel the need to spend the extra for the 680, a 670 or 660 Ti might help you save a few bucks, and if you want even more performance, dual 660 Ti's in SLI is actually a great option as well. Other than that, I don't think there's much to change. I mean, it's a fantastic machine. If you're going to run 2 cards, you might want to bump up to an 850 or 1000 watt power supply, but that's pretty much it. It's very quiet, very sleek, very high performance, and looks absolutely outstanding, as you guys probably noticed during our internal shots. Thank you for checking out this episode of NCIX Tech Tips, and don't forget to subscribe.